We're going to do the handover on the Chausson 640. We're going to start with the outside and then we're going to move on to the inside. Coming around the vehicle, to begin with, you have your gas locker, which is just there. Then have your fridge vents, which is there, and one up there as well. You have your toilet cassette, which is just there. And to remove this, simply pull up on the handle to unlatch and simply slide out. When doing so, you need to make sure that the blade on the toilet is closed. If it's open, it'll feel like it's being forced. If that's the case, never force it. Double check that the blade on the toilet is closed, as I say. Underneath, whilst I'm here, you can also see your wastewater drain down point. You know that because of this sticker here. So drain down your wastewater, you've got a grey pipe just underneath there. Simply pull this black handle which is on top of it and that will empty the wastewater system. When you want to obviously seal it back up, just push it in and as I say, that'll seal it. Moving to the back, you've got your garage here. You've got one entry point on this side and a taller garage point on the other side as well. You can see in here you've also got your cushions, your carpets, your various accessories. Moving on to the other side. To begin with, you've got your Trim event cover. When you're travelling, you need to make sure that this is always on at all times because you don't want dirt getting into the filter. However, when you're on site and you're using the Trim system, simply unhook it and pull it off. Reattach that when you are going off on your travels. Next is your hookup cable, which just goes into there. To remove that, you just need to make sure that you push this down to remove the whole lead. And next to that, you have your freshwater tank, which is located in here. This is your freshwater tank. Your freshwater tank will take about 120 litres. Pull that out, clip that into place, unscrew the cap, hose pipe into there, and then you can fill up the system. Just make sure that when you are filling up that all of the system is sealed. Before I move on to the main drain down point of this, you can see that you have got a little lever here. That's a quick drain down valve which will drain the whole system down to 20 litres if you want to. However, that will only work when you've got your pump on. Like the other side on the for your wastewater, you've got your freshwater sticker here, which shows you your drain down point there. Underneath here, you'll notice two pipes. You've got a pipe there, blue pipe, and also another blue pipe just there. Them two blue pipes are each different. That blue pipe is a breather pipe, and that other blue pipe there is a pipe into your freshwater tank. That is the one that you need to bother about. At the moment the cap is off, so that will drain the whole system down. So as I say, just make sure that that cap's on to fill the system up. And it's that one, not that one. As I say, the longer one is the breather pipe. Whilst I'm under here, I might as well show you that this is your exhaust for your diesel heater Webasto system, which is in the vehicle. Moving back into your convenience locker, we've been over the water tank. You've also got next to that your electric box. In there you've got all your fuses, and then you've also got your RCD breaker, which is just in there. If the van ever trips, you need to come to this point here. Finally at the back, you've got this long access point into the garage, and you can store things alright, just there. When it comes to filling up the vehicle with diesel, open the door and then you can access these points here. You get your AdBlue into here and then your diesel into there. Shut them and then you can shut the door. Underneath the bonnet, just simply access it, stick the key in the hood there, turn it left, take the weight of the hood, turn it right, and then you can lift up the hood. Underneath here you've got your engine coolant there, your positive outlet onto there, and then your washer fluid underneath there. Moving into the motorhome, you'll find your control panel. Up here you've got your master switch. Hold that to turn off the system, and that'll turn off, as you can see, all the lights and power to the vehicle. And then just simply click on to activate. Next to that you've got your lights. Click that, that controls the lights on the inside of the vehicle. Just skipping over this button, you've also got your lights here. Click that, that controls your awning light, which is just outside. In the middle you'll notice you've got this button here with a tap on. That is your that's your pump rather. Click that, and that'll activate the pump. Only activate your pump when you've got water in the system. Obviously if not you will burn out the pump, so make sure that you don't do that. Moving down, here you've got your habitation battery, which you can see is a battery with the habitation area in it. Click that, and that will show you that we're at full percent. Next, you've got your vehicle battery, which is, as I say, the front of a vehicle in a battery. Click that, and again, that will show you level as well. Last of all, if you click this button, this will show you your freshwater level. As you've just seen, we've got nothing in the freshwater, hence why it's coming up as this. And that is just activated onto there. The final button you can click, that just alters the brightness of the screen. Moving along is your Basto heating system. As I say, when you're on site you need to remove that Truma vent cover. Turn this on and turn the dial all the way to full. You'll then get a little green light onto here, and the lights in the vehicle will then start flickering. That'll occur for about 15 minutes or so. The reason it's doing that is it's powering the system, and then once it's all up to temperature and powered up, it'll then flatline. And as I say, that flickering won't occur. Once you want to turn off the Webasto system, as I say, turn it the other way, just to the off position, which is just here. And once you've done so, your lights again will flicker. That's because the system's cooling down. Again, that'll last for about 15 minutes. You've also got isolator switches here and here, just for various lights in the cab. In the hab, rather. Next is your fridge. So moving along is your fridge. You've got your freezer up at the top. And then you've got your fridge at the bottom there. This is a three-way fridge. If I click this button, it'll activate the fridge. At the moment, you can see that you've got this A. As I say, this is a three-way fridge, so it'll run off 3 fuels. So there's 3 ways to fuel the fridge. You've got your mains, which is this little icon here with a plug. You then have a battery symbol, and then you have a gas flame symbol to run off gas. As I say, if I click that, tap this button, I can either activate the mains, the leisure battery, or the gas. If you select a button, for example, if I selected gas now and I've not got any gas supply to the vehicle, what you'll do is this will start flashing like it just did, and you'll get an error code. If you get an error code, you'll need to reset the fridge, so you'll need to look in your owner's manual. This A stands for automatic. What that'll do is it'll automatically decide which fuel it's got. So as I say, I'm plugged in at the moment, so it's automatically decided that it wants the mains power. When I'm travelling, it'll then select my leisure battery power, and then when I'm on site wild camping and I haven't got any power, it'll select the flame, which is your gas. Just quickly as well, you've got your van temperatures here. For your fridge, so you can alter that depending on how cold you want the fridge. So turn that off, hold, and that'll turn the system off. Moving into the back, this is your bathroom area. You got your toilet, cassette, and also your sink. It's worth mentioning when you do prime your system, when you turn your pump on and you're on site, turn that button on that I showed you. Go to all your taps, turn them on, turn them to hot. That includes the shower tap just there as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull water through the hot water through the system and through the boiler system. It'll then spurt and splatter out of here. When it's running steadily, you're good to go, you've primed your system. You then need to do the exact same onto cooled, so switch all your taps over to cooled, and again that's going to prime your system for you. Once you've done that, you're sorted, you can leave your pump on, because each of your taps are on isolator switches, and it'll only activate your pump when you want to use the water. Next is your cassette. It's worth mentioning this does swivel to get yourself comfy. And then underneath, the most important bit is your blade. At the moment, the blade on the toilet is closed. If I slide that away from me, it's open. If you was to open this as well, you'd see that you can actually see into the cassette. When you can see into the cassette toilet, you know that it's open. When you close the blade and you see that plastic cover go over the cassette, you know it's closed. Always have that closed after use. You can see you've also got this button here, that's for your flush. That blue button, as I say, is for your flush. That'll only activate when your pump's on, so make sure you have your pump on when you want to activate that. You'll then get a warning light as well when your cassette is nearly full. Once you get that, empty it straight away. In the back, you've got your storage, and then you've also got that access point into the garage as well, which is just there. There's your shower. And now we're going to move on to the kitchen area. In the kitchen you can see your controls for your bed and your table, which will only activate when you've got your key in at the front. As I say, bed is here, and then your table's there. You've also got a socket as well. Plenty of storage throughout as well. You've got your oven and grill here. Works the exact same as a normal oven at home, however you got an igniter switch. You need to hold that down, feed the gas through, and then it'll light. You have also got an electric ring as well, which you can use when you're on a site and hooked up. Next we're moving into your lounge area. The main thing with the lounge to make it up into for travelling is you remove these cushions, simply flip up the seat, and then you're good to go for travelling. I'm going to make that up now for you. That's the seat all set up for transport. As you can see, all I've done is turn this. That allows the back to flip up. Remove the cushions off here and rearrange them to here. This panel then flips in, so you've got space for your feet. And then the seatbelt goes over. And as I say, you're ready to go. You have also got a headrest which will pop into here to support your head. And just like that, we're back to a normal seat. Next, I'm going to show you your bed system. To operate your bed, as I say, you need to have your key into this, give it a turn, and then that'll activate your electrics for the bed. I'm going to do that now for you. As I say, once your key is in, give it a turn, and that'll activate the bed. Okie dokie, once you've removed everything from this area, you can then activate the bed. Come down to here, firstly, press the table button, and that'll lower the table. And that'll stop automatically, so you can just keep a hold of that button. It's the same for the bed as well. Then click the bed, and as I say, that'll drop. The beauty with this system is as soon as I let go of this button, it will stop the bed at any point. So you can stop the bed at different heights if you want. Once it's at its lowest position, you're good to go. As I say, you can keep all your bedding on here, just with your pillows. What we say is stick them at the front, and then you're good to go. Moving on, you've then got your boiler switch, which is just down here. As I say, this is for your Truma system. This is where you need to take the vent off. This is your electric switch. So if you want to heat the water on electric, if you're hooked up, for example. At the moment, it's in the middle, and it's in the off position, which you can see is that O there, just there. So that's the off position. Flick up for 1 kilowatt electric. So you can see the two little squiggles. That equals 1 kilowatt electric. And flick down for 2 kilowatt electric. You can see the three squiggles. Depending on which site, you'll have to depend. It will depend on which how much electric you use to heat this system. If you're wanting to heat the water system using gas, just in this cupboard here, just over the kitchen area, just into here. On here it's the exact same. The middle position is off. You've then got 50 degrees, and then all the way down at the bottom, 70 degrees. You'll then have a little red light, which will eventually come on to show that it's working. Your 50 degrees, you'll use that when you're having a shower, and your 70 degrees, you're going to be using that when you're washing pots and pans and things. And as I say, that's going to run off your gas. That's going to be powered by your gas. Whilst I'm here, on all your windows, you have your fly screen. If you pinch with this, pull up, you can then set it into position, just like that. Pull down, and there your fly screen is there. So you've got your blackout blind, your fly screen, and then to open this, all you've got to do, push in these little nibs here, and then you can push the window out. And it'll just set into place like that. This goes for all the windows, and once you're happy with this, once you want to close it, push all the way up on the window, and that'll allow it to shut into place. You can then pull, unlock it into position, just like that. Make sure that all your windows, including obviously your roof lights, are all closed when travelling. To activate your roof light, all you've got to do is again push in these, and you've then got a handle. Pull the handle out and simply wind. That'll then open this. On the roof light as well, you've got fly screen along with a blackout blind. Finally, this leads me on to your boiler drain down point, which is your third and final drain down point in the vehicle. All you've got to do, remove this cushion off the top there, lift this up, and then you can access the boiler point. The main area that you need to be concerned with here is obviously draining down the boiler. To do so, this yellow switch here at the moment is in the up position. Slide that down to close it. And as I say, pop it up when you want to drain the system, and then you're done. That is a walk round done on the 640. I hope you enjoyed.